want to miss them. Our next presenter is the head of operations with Apex Trader Funding. He's a trader himself, as well as a trade educator with a focus on high probability setups and trading mentality. With a background in banking and as a licensed stockbroker, he's here to shed some light on how to qualify for a funded futures trading account and how having a funded trading account can provide psychological advantages to thousands of traders. Ladies and gentlemen, here to present Risk Our Money, Not Yours, Futures Funding is Mr. John Skelton of Apex Trader Funding. Welcome back to Trader's Corner, John.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate that. Am I coming through okay? Can everybody hear me good? See the screen here?
Loud and clear. You might want to switch to presentation mode, though.
Let's see here.
Right-click on your slide.
Yeah, everybody see? We good here?
You're about good. I can still see the title bar at the top, but...
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Let me see if I can fix that here. Give me just a second.
Usually if you right-click the slide, you get a little easel-looking icon that will zoom it into full screen. About the fifth icon in from the top left. Up. Above, that's the one. Well, I'm used to it being that. Hey, if you don't mind us seeing your taskbar, that's probably appropriate. You didn't disappear on audio with us, did you? If you look all the way at the,
Sorry about that.
At the bottom right.
Yep, there we go. How about now? You hear me now?
We hear you now, but we still have your title bar and taskbar. The icon way at the bottom right of your screen, I think, will put you into full screen mode.
Yeah.
Back you out of it.
Yeah, no, that's not the one I'm wanting there. Okay. Yep. Let's just go with this here for now, if that works for you.
Sounds good. Apologize for the misdirection.
No. Yeah, we're good. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry about that. How's everybody enjoying the presentations today so far? Good? Good stuff? Anybody trade this morning with some of that crazy news that came out? How'd that work out for you? Yeah, a little crazy this morning, wasn't it? Okay, everybody hearing me okay? Can I just get some yeses in there in the questions box just to make sure? Just not seeing any questions coming through. There we go. Okay, yep, perfect. All right, well, guys, thanks for joining us. I'm going to get rolling here. Sorry about that. So let me get my side rolling here as well. So welcome. My name is John Skelton with Apex Trader Funding, and appreciate you guys joining us here today. And thank you for Trader's Corner for having us on. And as always, let's go ahead and get some disclosures knocked out here. As we all know, trading involves risk. Make sure you know what you're doing before you do it, and give you a chance there to check that out. So what I want to do today is talk to you a little bit about trader funding. How many of y'all are familiar with trader funding, or you've been a part of a trader funding program in the past? Some of you may, hey, I've heard of it, but not really sure what it's about. A few of you? Okay. Well, what I want to do is give you a little bit of understanding. I'm not going to try to give you a big sales pitch here. I want to give you a little bit of understanding of what is this all about. Some of you that are veteran traders have, are familiar with it. Others like, hey, I've heard of it, I'm interested. I want to give you a little bit of understanding of what it's about, what the industry is. We're not the only option out there. I'll be upfront and tell you that. There's other options out there, and there's some good options out there. There's some not so great options out there. And I want to give you a little bit of understanding about what it is you want to look for if you are interested in some trader funding. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. Let me help kind of establish the foundation here to help you understand what's the point, right? Because that's one of the first questions is, why? Why would some company out there fund my trading? So I want to start by kind of putting it on your level as a trader. Throughout your trading career, as long as you've been trading, how many of you, and by the way, wait till the end here. I'm going to give you some, I'll show you our website. We're going to give you a discount code. So hold off till the end here to do anything. I don't want you to go spend money you don't need to. But how many of you throughout your trading career have ever subscribed? I mean, we just heard our last presenter at the end there talked about some trading newsletters, right? Signal newsletters, market recap newsletters. How many of you have ever subscribed to a trading newsletter or to some type of day trading plan? Or what about an auto trading system or an AI like a trader bot or signals? And you ever subscribe to any kind of signals for your trading? Or what about just a trade room, right? You're in an education room and you're in a trade room and you're kind of following other traders in that room or following a guru trader, right? Okay, most all of us have done something like that at some point over our trading career, right? Looking for someone to follow, someone that we can entrust our trading decisions to, and someone we can basically entrusting our money to someone else, right? Following their trades, following what they do. We've all done something like that at some point, usually, right? Yeah, a couple of you are saying signals, or we've talked about newsletters. You may go to someone's website and they're like, hey, follow my trades. Here's my historical stats. Here's all this money I make. Here's all the trades I've won, right? They have all these historical stats, but you don't really know if those are legitimate stats, do you? Any of us can go right now and make a website. We can make a spreadsheet. We can put anything we want on there, right? You don't really know if that person can trade. You don't really know if those historical stats are legit, do you? You have no way of knowing until you find out yourself. But what if you could watch that person trade in a special evaluation demo account and watch them trade for a couple weeks and see their day-to-day progress, see their trades, see how they handle the market, see how they handle news, see how they handle trending markets, range-bound market, and actually watch their performance for a little bit. And then decide, hey, I want to get behind this. I want to follow those person's trades, right? That's a lot more believable to watch them do it and see them do it than to just trust some random statistics on a website. Can everybody agree with that? Does that make sense? Being able to see it for yourself over time a little bit. And then you're going to be a lot more comfortable giving that person money or following them with your own trades after you're seeing that real-time proof and you see consistent, profitable trades even during major, without major swings, right? Even during major news announcements. And we've all been there and looked at that. And you'd be a lot more comfortable getting behind them if you were able to kind of see that, right? And that's kind of how it is with trader funding. That's what an evaluation account is all about. It's like, hey, here's a demo, sign up for a demo account, sign up for an evaluation account. Here's a couple rules, and let's see if you can actually trade. Because there's a lot of people out there that are interested in trading, but they might not have the funds to trade, right? So the same motivation for a trader to follow someone else's trades or follow signals is literally the same motivation for a prop trading fund to want to get behind a trader. They're seeking talent, right? Just like the big boys do, banks and hedge funds and some of these big traders, they're seeking talent. And that's really all it is with these trader funding companies. that are designed to fund retail traders. They're looking for talent, and not to someone that says, hey, I'm talented, but can you prove it in an evaluation account? Okay. So what is trader funding? Like I said, yes, somebody just asked, did you say there'd be a discount at the end? Yeah, I'm going to give you a discount coupon at the end, so don't rush out to our site and sign up for something. Don't spend money you don't have to spend. First of all, we offer trading for futures traders only. Right now, we don't offer funding for stocks or options or crypto or Forex, but for futures accounts only. It's very simple. Prove that you can trade consistently and profitably without massive losses or massive drawdowns, and then you qualify for a paid performance account. All right. And the split on that is a 90-10 split. The trader keeps 90%, the company keeps 10%. Okay, we have one of the highest splits in the industry. And again, why would a company do that? Why would a company want to fund a trader? And it's like I just explained, they're seeking talent, right? Consistent traders, bringing in consistent profits that can be split. Also doing that, it creates a lot of diversity, right? Some of you out there might trade indices. You trade the Nasdaq and the Dow. Other people might trade some gold or oil. Other people might trade the agriculture, futures. So it spreads out some risk there, not everything all in one. Also, we don't require that you trade a certain system. You can trade whatever strategy or system you have. That's kind of the point, is we're looking for that diversity. So it does spread out risk and reward there, but it spreads out that risk among multiple different strategies or systems, which is always a safety net there. And also times of the day. Some people trade the early morning open. Some people trade evening. Some people trade overnight, right? So it's a big diversity. It spreads out and a lot of duplication there, okay? So that's kind of just a nutshell of why a company would be looking to fund a trader. But what are some of the reasons that a trader would want that? Well, again, I asked this question earlier. I don't know if you heard me, I might have been muted out. How many of you traded the markets this morning? How many of you looked at a chart this morning with the news that came out? Show of hands, anybody get caught in that? How'd that work out for you? How many of you had a great day riding the market? How many of you might have had a rough day because it zipped all over the place or zipped against you? That was some crazy volatility this morning, right? We've seen a lot of crazy volatility lately with some of these news announcements, right? Especially with some of the CPI stuff. Can anybody tell me what's coming up here over the next couple weeks? What season we're in that could really affect the markets as well? Brent, you nailed it. Earnings season. So we're already on top of some crazy volatility. We're already on top of knowing there's a lot of volatility that happens with some of these news releases. We're about to come into a few weeks of earnings season, which we all know can have effects on the market and on particular strategies and season and systems. Then what do we have coming up in about 2.5 weeks here around November 4th or 5th that we know will cause some volatility in the economy and in the markets? Yeah, right? We got some elections. Do any of those things or anything happen in the world with Russia, with China, with Ukraine, with anything, does that make you a little bit nervous trading your own money, your savings, your retirement, your kids' college funds, like your actual hard-earned cash, knowing that, these markets are very volatile right now and that there's a lot of volatility and things coming up, and then seeing how the market can instantly just boom, spike and it's gone, right? Well, that is one of the many reasons that a lot of people are looking and choosing to consider trader funding, of literally risking someone else's money, not their own, holding on to their own hard cash, right? Using someone else's risk capital to trade riskier markets, more volatile markets, right? But also just in general, there's some people that are very interested in trading, but they just don't have enough funds to trade. Or maybe you do have a trading account, but you don't quite have a large enough account to trade as many contracts as you want. Or when things get crazy in the market and they raise the the margins, then you really don't have enough funds to trade, right? We've all experienced that, right? When margins double or triple, but for a lot of people, it's about being nervous to risk their own savings with these random news and volatility that comes out and can spike against you and just blow the account, right? We've all been there and done that. And it's a scary time for that. Like I mentioned, margin changes. You also have to consider some of these top traders, right? At these banks, institutional traders, hedge funds, are they trading their own money? Are they dealing with some of those mental and psychological barriers and fear and scariness that we have to deal with when we're trading our own money, right? Let me ask you this. How many of you, because I know this was me, how many of you, when you first started trading, and you're spending like every evening staying up late at night, every weekend, you're not seeing your family or kids and nothing, you're on the computer and you're watching all these YouTube videos and all these trainings, and you're on your chart back testing, right? And you're adding this indicator and adding that indicator and changing settings on it. You're looking for like this holy grail, right? You find some little system and, oh, it's great, it's great. Oh, those were some losing days. Let me go add 5 other indicators on there, and maybe that would have kept me out of those losing trades. Oh, but wait, that caused these to be losing. And all you're focused on is indicators, and all you're focused on is your chart and trying to find that holy grail system. Have we all been there? Anyone else do that besides me? I know you're lying if you say you didn't, right? Then you see some video about like trading mentality and trading psychology, and what'd you say to yourself? I don't need that psychobabble stuff. I'm not going to even watch that video. I don't need mentality trading. I just need to find a better system. I need to find a better indicator, right? We all like pushed that part aside, brushed off the mental side, the discipline side, the mentality side, right? When we were new, we thought, I got that. I just got to find this good system that no one else in the world has seemed to found yet. But then, how many of you blew an account or two after trading? And then after that, after going through that experience, you kind of realize, wow, that mental side is actually a huge deal. That discipline side is actually a huge deal. Because we realize, hey, a lot of these systems out there actually work if I work it. But a lot of times the problem is me, right? Not following the rules, entering early, entering late, pushing a trade, all those things. And then when you have a couple losses and you're trading your own money, your own savings, or your kid's college fund, then we find ourselves scared to press the button, right? We make bad decisions out of fear of loss. Can you see how a lot of those mental blocks and a lot of those fear factors and a lot of that psychological health can really come into play when you're no longer trading your own money? You're actually risking someone else's money, especially in these volatile markets, okay? So yes, for some people, it's just a simple need. Hey, I'm interested in trading. I've got a good little system, but I don't have the money to trade. I'm interested in trader funding. For others, hey, I've got money. I might have plenty of money, but I don't want to risk my own. Why would I? Especially in these markets. So it can create a whole new mental outlook there and take away a lot of fear and bad decisions, okay? How many of you have tried trader funding in the past with some of these other companies that are out there? I have a quick show of hands there. I'm not going to mention direct names or talk down about any particular companies, but have any of you tried trader funding in the past with other companies? Little show of hands, quick yes there. Some of you, I recognize your names, and I know you're actually with us. But wondering who has tried other companies. There's a lot of companies out there that in the past, honestly, have not had the best reputation because they put so many super tight rules. See, with all these companies, you have to come in, you get an evaluation account. Can you pass the evaluation account? Can you do what you need to do with the evaluation account and pass that in order to qualify for trader funding and therefore get the 90-10 split. But most of these companies make it so hard with so many rules and so much red tape and so much fine print that it's virtually impossible for you to ever pass the evaluation and get funding. Have any of you experienced that with some of these companies where the rules are just so hard and you keep repaying and resetting and paying again and you're trying again and trying again? Okay, that's something you need to be very careful for, because like I said, I want to give you a little education about the industry. And when you're looking at some of the different companies that you can use, that's what you want to do, is look at what are their rules. What are their rules for passing the evaluation account? Do the rules make sense? And what I always tell people is this: if you had $100,000 sitting in the bank and you're going to fund some trader yourself, you're going to probably want to put some rules on that trading, right? To protect your own money as well and their opportunity also. You're going to want to put some rules, right? And some guidelines. And when you look at some of the rules that some of these companies have, what you want to do is ask yourself, hey, do those rules actually help and protect the funds and the risk capital and help the trader, or do they actually hurt the trader? Like, would they hurt your actual money? And that's how you have to look at it. That's your litmus test there of, could I understand that rule myself? Okay, because that is the big thing that's out there. Okay, is some unrealistic profit goals or drawdowns, or they might have minimum or maximum times. I remember one company had, and I've talked about this before, of, there was a rule that was like, hey, we don't want someone coming in and using like an HFT, like high frequency trader. Like, we want to protect the markets, we want to protect liquidity. We don't want anybody trading too fast, HFT style. So to protect against that and to protect you with liquidity, we require that you can't be in a trade for less than like 2 minutes. Well, on the surface, that sounds good, right? Like, oh yeah, they're trying to protect us. They're trying to protect the markets, protect liquidity. So that's the reason for that rule, is you can't be in a trade for less than 2 minutes. That way we can hedge off with that rule, people trading in and out too much. Think about that for a minute. How many of you trade the NQ? Show of hands here. Who trades the Nasdaq? Anyone? Yeah, what can the Nasdaq do in 2 minutes? Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? That Nasdaq can fly in 2 minutes. It can kill you. So just think about this. Dorian, you're saying you trade it. If you had 100 grand sitting in the bank and you're going to go give it to some trader, would you ever tell him, if you get into an NQ trade, you can't close it for at least 2 minutes? Is that smart in any way, shape, or form? Does that protect your money? Or does that set him up for failure? Because if you go long and that market starts shooting south, going down, yeah, you just look at a chart and see what NQ can do in 2 minutes. Exactly. It's going to cause that account to fail their evaluation rules. And that's the point. You would never put your own live money in that situation to tell someone, here's my live 100 grand, don't close this for 2 minutes. I don't care what the market's doing. That's not trading. To trade, you should be able to monitor the markets, read the markets, get out if you're wrong, right? Somebody puts a rule on you saying you can't do that. That's there for a reason, to cause you to fail. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Okay. So let's talk about it a little bit. For our company, for Apex Trader Funding, what are the rules to pass our evaluation accounts? They're very simple. Hit the profit goal. Don't lose. So hit the profit goal. Can you make a certain amount without losing a certain amount? That's fair enough, right? You got 100 grand in the bank. Some guy comes to you saying, hey, I can trade. You say, all right, let's put you in a demo account, evaluation account. Let's follow a few rules. Let's see if you can make X amount of dollars without losing X amount of dollars. Does that make sense? Is that something you'd probably want as well to see from a trader before you hand them live money to trade? Sure. What can you do, right? Don't give out your username and password to someone else and let them trade for you. If we're going to fund you as a trader, we want to know that you're the one that was doing the trading during the evaluation period, right? Does that rule make sense? Is that a rule you would put on your own money as well if you were funding someone? Of course, right? Very simple rule. 10 days trading minimum to pass the evaluation account. Okay, so let me ask you this. If you had 100 grand in the bank and you told somebody, hey, all right, let's give you a $100,000 demo account, and can you make 5 grand? All right, let's see. And you want to see consistent trading, disciplined trading, someone that can follow a strategy or system and follow their rules and be consistent, right? Well, so Lori, if you had 100 grand and you told me, hey, John, can you make 5 grand without losing 5 grand, just for numbers sake? Let's do a test. And I come back to you in an hour, Lori, and I say, hey, look, I made 5 grand. I did it. So give me your money. How are you going to feel about that? Like, probably not comfortable just yet, right? Like in an hour, that means I probably went in and did maximum contracts, and I might have been lucky, right? I mean, my 8-year-old kid can press buy or sell and be right half the time, right? That doesn't really tell you anything, does it, Lori? Now, but what if you told me, okay, well, I'll give you the 100 grand to trade live, but I need you to prove to me over like 6 or 8 months that you can trade in this demo account consistently. Or I want you to do like a 3-month evaluation with these rules. Then I want you to go and do another 3-month evaluation under a little different rules. That seems a little excessive, doesn't it? Right? Like, so it's got to be somewhere in the middle ground. And that's where we require 10 trading days minimum, okay? It doesn't matter if it takes you 10 days, 10 weeks, or 10 months to pass the evaluation, okay? We just want to see that once you've reached the profit goal, you at least traded 10 individual separate different trading days. Does that make sense? Not that you did it all in one push of the button and lucked out, but there was at least 10 different trading days in there. So maybe you therefore traded some news days, traded some regular days, traded some trendy days. We want to see that that you made it through. Does that make sense? And you don't have to win. You don't have to profit every day. You don't have to make a profit every day. Okay. Lori said, what happens if you win 9 out of 10? You don't have to profit every day. Just at the, let me show you here. Okay. Let me just show you. I'm going to move over this right here. Let me hop on over to our website. Let me help you understand this a little better. So if you go to our website, okay, apextraderfunding.com, got some information up here, a couple videos, a lot of stuff to check out. Well, if you scroll down here, you'll see our plans, all right? We have evaluation account plans anywhere from 25,000 up to 300,000, okay? Let me just give you a quick rundown. For example, right here, all right, a $50,000 evaluation account, all right? These are $167 a month, okay? So recurring monthly fee, don't even worry about that. I'm gonna give you like 80% off of that here in a little bit, okay? So easy cheesy. So, but what does this mean, $50,000 evaluation account? Well, an evaluation is that, an evaluation. It's a test, right? Can you pass that test? Can you pass the evaluation rules? And then therefore move over to, a paid split account. Well, in this account, contracts, you can do up to 10 contracts, which is minis, okay? Or you can do 20 micros, okay? How do you pass this? Well, the profit goal is $3,000. Can you make $3,000 of profit in this account without hitting the trailing threshold drawdown stop of $2,500? We'll talk a little more about that in a little bit. We don't have any daily drawdowns or scaling penalties or weekly drawdowns, nothing like that, okay? So all this is saying is, for this size of account, can you make $3,000 without losing $2,500? Or over here, you go up to a bigger size account like the $100,000 account. Can you make $6,000 without losing $3,000? Or nine? They're all a little bit different goals, like profits and stops, based on the size of the account. Does that make sense? Okay. And then, even all the way up here to our biggest account, the 300K account, you can do 35 contracts, you do 35 minis, or you can do up to 70 micros. Okay. Some people ask, how come it's not an even ratio with the minis and micros? Like, why can't I do 10 times the amount? Well, why would you ever want to? First of all, because think about it. If we say here you can do 35 contracts of minis, okay, how many micros would that equate to? If you could do the same ratio, how many micros would that equate to? Okay. Think about the commissions on 350 micros versus just doing 35 minis. So we have micros in here at a decent number so that someone can trade micros if they're more comfortable with micros. But you get to a point where, when you're trading hundreds or thousands of micros, you're going to have a liquidity issue, first of all, of getting filled. Secondly, it just doesn't make sense past a certain point. It's like, hey, just move over and trade a couple micros, because you're going to save yourself tons of money every single trade, all day long, all week long, all month long, to the tune of potentially thousands of dollars for both of us. That makes sense, Dorian? That's why. That's simply why. Even on the 50K account, you still do up to 20 micros or, 34 micros. So we put them in there to do them, but you get to a point where it doesn't really make a lot of sense from a liquidity standpoint or a commission standpoint to not just switch over and do the minis, okay? So does everybody understand that? Like on this example here, profit goal's $3,000, okay? It doesn't matter if you hit that in a day, a week, a month, a year. You can take as long as you want to hit that profit. So you're not having to hit that every day or every month. You're just having to hit it one time. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you to hit it. We just want to know that once you've reached that profit goal and said, hey, I passed my evaluation, I made $3,000 in profit, I didn't hit my drawdown. Okay, did you trade at least 10 separate trading days to get there? Okay, great. That way we know you've traded through some different types of volatility. That's all, right? Okay. So Adrian says, why do you have evaluation accounts on different sizes? Okay, let's talk about that, because that's really a good question, Adrian. It kind of leads me into the next thing I was going to talk about. How many of you have, and this is a whole other webinar to do, but like secrets to passing funded account evaluations, right? And by the way, so let's say that you're in here and you sign up for this and you start trading and you blow it tomorrow, you fail it tomorrow, okay? All you have to do is pop in your account. You can pay an $80 reset fee and start over. All right, it puts you back at the original balance, back at the original stops. You can just start over. You can reset as many times as you need to. That's not held against you, okay? Once you pass the account and you've passed the evaluation, then you no longer have an evaluation fee, right? That goes away. And the funded accounts is just an $85 a month fee, which covers platforms and data and stuff. You don't have anything else you have to buy. Even in the evaluation accounts, this monthly amount, which I'm going to give you a discount on, that we give you a free NinjaTrader license key to use, so you don't have to go buy a platform. It also gives you the data through Rhythmic that you need for the trading, so you don't have to go pay for, there's nothing else to buy. Okay, there's no hidden fees there. Okay, let's see here. Someone says, hey, if I'm trading from this platform or that, do I need to open a separate account at Rhythmic or NinjaTrader? No, you can just use the connection we give you to connect. You don't have to go open a broker account. You don't have to go open. There's nothing for you to open. Okay, no accounts for you to open, Mike. You know, you can trade from wealth charts like you're asking. The connection works. Okay. So Adrian, why do you have evaluation accounts of different sizes? Let me tell you a big problem I've seen here, that I've seen of people that fail their evaluation accounts. Who here has taken an evaluation account with us or with someone else and failed it? Had to try another one, had to reset. I think we've all been there, right? It's like we've all been through different accounts. Okay. Out of just quick curiosity, Darius, Brent, if you don't mind me asking, what size accounts did you have? Darius said 50K. Okay. All right. Brent said 25 and 50. Okay. So here's a big issue I've seen. Okay. And I want you to understand this. I am not, and I want to repeat, I am not being salesy here. And I'm not trying to tell you to buy a more expensive, bigger account. Okay. That is not what I'm saying here. I'm going to say two things here. On the 50K account, how many contracts can you do? 10. Okay. You can do up to 10 contracts at a time. Well, the speedometer in my truck goes up to 160 miles an hour. My truck is a V8, it can do close to that. Just because I can do something, does that mean I should? That's the first biggest problem issue with people failing accounts, is we know we can take 10 weeks, 10 months. We can take as long as we want to pass it. None of us want to wait that long, do we? We know that we only have to do 10 days, so we want to do it in 10 days. But then we even scale that down further, right, Darius? We've all been there. I'm not calling you out. I've done it. Well, I just want to get the profit goal done today, this afternoon, and then just trade small the next 9 days, and I qualify. I want to get it done quick. And what's our easiest way to get it done quick? Go in max contracts, hoping for a big move, right? We've all done it. So that's the first problem. It's just because you can do a high number of contracts doesn't mean you should, because when you start going in maxing out contracts and that market makes a pullback against you, it's a lot easier to hit your drawdown, isn't it? So that's the first thing, is taking a little more disciplined approach to it and just saying, maybe I don't need to do 10 contracts, okay? Like, hey, maybe I don't want to get charged another fee next month, so I'm going to rush it. Okay, well, then over a month, you've got like 20 trading days, right? How much do you need to make every day over 20 trading days to make $3,000? Yeah, like 150 bucks a day. And that's a lot easier plan. It's a more strategic plan. It's a more long-term consistent plan that still gets you out of having to pay another fee of going for 150 bucks a day. Do you need to be going in 10 contracts deep to try to make 150 bucks? You don't, right? So that's the first thing, guys. Don't overdo it. Don't do these max contracts just because you can, right? Don't let the temptation to do it quick overcome doing it right. Everybody with me on that? Because that's the biggest way you'll blow an account and then have to go reset it and then reset it and then reset it, okay? But here's the other big thing I've seen. We all want to save money, right? None of us want to spend more money than we need to spend. I get that. Part of why I'm also going to give you an 80% discount code, okay? But let me ask you this. If I have a scalping strategy to where I'm just going for like 10 or 20 ticks profit, and then I'm risking, let's say, okay, my scalping strategy is I'm going to go for 20 ticks profit, and I'm going to risk 20 ticks as my loss. How many of y'all have a scalping strategy like that? Risk 20 to make 20, 1-to-1, right? So if I'm trading the Nasdaq or the Dow, whatever, it's $5 a tick, right? So if I lose a trade, how much did I just lose? $5, 20 ticks, $100. Everybody with me here? Feel like we're in math class? So, and let's just say I'm only doing a couple contracts, so I'm gonna lose 100 or 200 bucks. If that is my strategy, am I okay with this 50K account, for example, to where, you know, I've got starting off $2,500 of trailing room? That's probably fine, right? Why do you think a lot of people hop on this site and grab this one or this one, these first two? Because of the price, right? None of us want to spend more than we need to. What's the other reason you think people might hop on here and go for this one or this one? I only got to make 1,500, or I only got to make 3,000, compared to 9,000 a profit, 15,000 a profit, 20. I don't want to have to. That's going to take too long, right? So let me just grab one of these two here. For one, they're cheaper. For two, they look easier. Does that make sense? Has anybody here that's been with us, with Apex, gotten one of those two accounts for one of those two reasons? Or can you understand why the general public would just do that? Right? Makes sense. So if I just have a scalping system, risking 20 to make 20, I'm actually probably okay with this, right? That's probably enough room for me with the drawdown of 2,500 bucks, the trailing drawdown, right? Now, I may not want to go in and do 10 contracts, because what happens if I do 10 contracts and I lose 100 bucks a contract? I just ate up 1,000 bucks of this, didn't I? And then I go and have one more loss. I ate up another 1,000 bucks of that. This account's blown in 2.5 losing trades. Everybody understand that? Like, did you follow me there? If I need to repeat that, tell me, because this is important. Did everybody just get that? So is there any reason if I go with this account that I want to do 10 contracts? That's not me spreading out the risk good enough, is it? Yeah, just trade smaller. Hey, fine, I want to pass it in a month at least, because I don't want to pay next month's fee. You got 20 trading days. You need 150 bucks for the day. You don't really need to be trading more than a couple contracts, probably, right? Don't fall for the I want to do this fast and go all in, because you're going to blow your account. And then you're going to have to pay us another one, and then buy another reset and another reset. And it's just a circle, a downward spiral. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, well, let me put this a different way. Hey, I'm not a scalper. I'm one of these guys you see online posting their trades of how they made 400 ticks today, because my trading system is, oh, I get up, I enter if the market gets over here up near this high of yesterday and this other high and this resistance point at divergence, and I want to ride the market down. I just want to ride that sucker down hundreds of ticks. But my stop, in order to make those 300, 400, 500 ticks for the day, my stop is like 200 ticks away. Anybody know traders like that? Where they're like, oh my God, that guy risks like 50 ticks a trade, 100 ticks per trade. But man, they score big sometimes. Anybody know of traders like that, or strategies or systems like that, where that initial stop is way out there? Or, hey, trade's going in my favor, market's shooting down, but we all know the market doesn't go from point A to point B in a straight line, right? It does a roller coaster thing, right? Goes down, pulls way back up, pulls down, way back up. You got to be able to ride out those pullbacks. If your system is a system that makes 100, 200, 300, 400 ticks in a day, whatever, is it that hard to reach some of these numbers in like a decent amount of time? It's really not, right? These profit goals don't seem like that big of a deal anymore, do they? When you've got a system like that. Does that make sense? But what is a big deal? This ain't gonna work, is it? If that's your system, these big, huge pullbacks, riding big moves of the market, having stops hundreds of ticks away, this account with this kind of stop and trailing isn't gonna work, is it? Does everybody follow me there? Just trying to help you out here. The two big reasons people fail accounts: for one, they do too many contracts. For two, they're getting the wrong size of evaluation account for their strategy or system. Does that make sense? I think Adrian originally asked, why are there different ones? And that might have been kind of a longer answer than expected, Adrian. But does that make sense now? That's why there's different structures, okay? Because everyone has a different strategy or system. And you've got to go in and sit down and figure out, okay, if I look back over the last month, over my system, how many wins did I have? How many losses did I have during the trades? How far did it pull back against me? Okay, I need a package that will allow all that to happen without failing me. But you can't sit there and try to pour a gallon of water into a half-gallon jug and then act confused when the rest all spills over. Does that make sense? You've got to put a scalping strategy into a scalping size type package, or you got to put a big trend trading, big stop package into one that can handle it to give yourself any chance. Some of y'all haven't thought about it like that, have you? Where some people are like, I don't like how your trailing drawdown works. Trailing drawdown works just fine if you're not doing too many contracts and you're choosing the right account. Okay? So I kind of went off track a little bit there from my PowerPoint slides and presentation, but was that helpful to you, whether you've been with us or whether you've been somewhere else, to help understand, hey, here's some things that you want to be aware of when you're trying to pass one of these evaluations, of some things to do, some things to don't do. Make sure you're choosing the right package for your strategy and take your time. I'm not telling you to take your time. That way you keep paying us month after month a fee. I'm literally giving you a way to get it done before you pay the second fee. okay? But that doesn't mean you got to do it in a day. Because what's going to happen when you're urgent, pressed, stressed, oh, I want to do this all today. I want to get this whole thing done today. You're pressing buttons, you're chasing trades, you're hoping. You're not following a consistent strategy or system, are you? You're really just kind of throwing it out there, hoping for the best. It's not going to help you trade well to have that sense of urgency when you don't have to have it. You're better off doing it the right way so you're not having to start over and over again. Make sense? So that's what we mean by 10 trading days, okay? What are other rules? Follow the code of conduct and the code of effort. What does that mean? Be professional and put a little effort in. Watch some training videos, right? We're not necessarily looking to fund someone that's like, well, I don't have time to watch this and set this up for a few minutes. Will you do everything for me? Will you do all this? Will you do all? That's not really who we're looking to fund money to, of someone that we have to do it all, or else we just do it ourselves, right? Not a big deal. Can you hit your profit goal without hitting the loss? Can you do the trading yourself over 10 days? Be professional, put some effort in. That's it. Like, that's our rules. There's no other fine print, complicated rules, making it hard to pass, rules in there that are purposely there just to make you fail. We're just simply looking for, can you trade consistently and profitable and stay within just a handful of guidelines, and that's it. Does that sound fair? Does that sound like any of those rules are there to make someone fail on purpose just to get more fees out of them? No. And I wouldn't have been sitting there going through those examples with you, telling you, hey, here's why people fail. Don't do it. Okay? Because there's a big difference. There's a big difference of, and we went through a lot of this. There's a big difference right here. This is what it boils down to. Fees versus funding. There's companies out there that have no intention of ever funding you. Okay? They don't even actually have real funding. They know that their whole company is based off complicated rules that you could never pass, and they just keep charging you more fees and more reset fees. And if someone happens to get funded, quote unquote, and make a little money, they're just going to pay you based on the fees they made on everyone else, right? So when you're looking at different funding companies, are they there just to get fees from you? Or do they actually have a true path to a long-term relationship with real funding and to pay out real money to you? Because that's what it's all about, right? So I've kind of already walked you through this. You hop on the website, you can choose an account anywhere from 25,000 to 300,000. You immediately get an email with your username and passwords. You can immediately log into the back end of the website, activate your account, see everything you need to pop in and install, watch a few videos. It's real easy, and be trading. Use it on over 20 different platforms. NinjaTrader is our preferred platform that we provide support on and also provide a license key with. I'm going to actually, guys, show you where you can get a lot more information here as well. So that's it. Once you've signed up, start trading, follow those rules. You've got 10 days minimum. You don't have to trade 10 days in a row. It doesn't have to be anything like that. Just once you hit that profit goal, we want to see that you've traded at least 10 days. Okay. Like I said, if you fail it, you need to reset it. You can pop on and reset it anytime. We pay out 100% of the first $10,000 that's paid out. So the first $10,000 that is paid out to a trader, they keep 100% of it. Okay. Then after that, after the first 10,000, that's when the split starts. Right. We keep 10%. Trader gets 90%. Okay. We offer some different plans. I'm running out of time here. Let me just move this back over real quick here. I'm going to show you where you can get all this information. So if you look here, you've got the 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, all these different ones that all have the trailing threshold. Then right here we have $100,000 static, okay, that does not have a trailing threshold. What this means is on the static accounts, okay, when you start off with a $100,000 balance, your stop, meaning, hey, don't let the balance go below this level or you failed, is $625 below that, right? So it's at what, 99,900 and 375, right? Okay, so that's what's called a static account. Is your stop, like, hey, below this number you fail, is static. It stays right there, doesn't move, okay? Some of these others have what's called a trailing threshold, okay? Now keep in mind, we do not have daily drawdowns like most every company out there. We do not have weekly drawdowns like a lot of companies out there. And we do not have intra-trade drawdowns where on one particular trade itself, you cannot lose more than that. We don't have any of that. We either only have a static or we have the trailing threshold. Okay, now, what does the trailing threshold mean? The trailing threshold basically moves up as your profit goes up, right? So if the trailing threshold is $2,500, well, that means starting off, you've got $2,500 of room. If you make $2,000 in the account, right, then the trailing threshold moves up $2,000 as well. So it's still $2,500 behind where you are now, okay? It's designed to help traders protect their profits and use conservative trails and not just leave trades out there going way against them and way against us, right? Now, in a paid account, the trailing threshold goes away after a certain point, okay? Look, I've got limited time on this webinar, but if you go right here, because I want you to all fully understand this, how it works, okay? If you go to our website, right here under FAQ, right here, if you just type in trailing, the first one right there, how does the trailing threshold work? I actually have a long webinar video right here where I literally walk through exactly how it works. I show it to you on a PowerPoint slide. Then I switch over and do a complete different example on an Excel spreadsheet. Like, okay, I'm in this trade, I've made this much, where's my trailing threshold? I literally walk through it and explain it on a spreadsheet. Then I switch over to live trading and show it to you on a chart, and then show you how to literally have it right in front of you where you always know where that threshold is. Like, okay, I can't go below that. It's very simple if you just check it out. But I actually explain it 3 different ways, show live examples, and you can actually see it right on the screen. It's never a problem. It's never a surprise. You always know where it is, okay? So there was a couple of people that are asking about, hey, can you go over that? Like, well, I'm down to just a couple of minutes here. So that's how we're different than all these other companies out there. Easier rules, simpler rules, better payouts, very upfront, a true path to trading. Different instruments you can trade, these are all listed on the website as well. All the indices, the interest rates, energy futures, ags, metals. You can also trade multiple accounts, all right? Meaning, you can have 10 accounts if you want, all right? Well, why would you ever do that? Well, help spread out some risk, help spread out some reward. If you're on our website, go right here to tools, click that. This very first video right here, Trade Copier for NinjaTrader 8. Basically, if you're trading one account, okay, so you got one chart in front of you, it will copy your entries into the other 9 accounts. So you can literally trade 10 accounts at a time and duplicate and multiply. If you have questions on that, we do allow you to have up to 20 paid performance accounts. So check that section out. So I'm running out of time here. Anything, guys, that you have a question about, feel free to hit us up. You can hit us up on chat. You can hit us up on the Apex Help Desk, but literally it's all right here. Well, hey, John didn't have much time. I want to know more about payouts. Okay, how do payouts work? Click it. I've got 3 videos right there, 2 videos explaining it all to you, plus walking through it here written out, plus down here actually broken down based on each account size. Every bit of information is transparent. It's here. It's on the site. You can get to it before you even pay something and sign up. Just go to the FAQ. Anything you want is right there, explained several different ways. Okay. So as a special offer here, again, I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you go to our website, Apex Trader Funding, that's not right, huh? ApexTraderFunding.com. Choose the package that you are looking for. Okay. Go through the different account sizes here. For example, if you want to get the 50K account, you just hit start now. And during the checkout process, there's a big area for a coupon code. Type in corner 80. Okay. What I'm offering here today for those of you that are on the webinar is 80% off your first month. Okay. So for example, $50,000 account, after you apply the coupon code, it's like 34 bucks to try it out. 34 bucks, right? 80% off first month, then it'll give you 50% off all the recurring months after that on any size of those evaluation accounts. So again, it's corner 80 for the coupon code. That is active right now. You can use it for up to 10 accounts. If you want to get 10 accounts, you can get 10 accounts, apply the coupon to each one. And again, as a special thank you for having us on here today and being here, I'm going to leave that coupon active for you until midnight Sunday night. That way you've got a couple days there to take advantage of it. So guys, I have gone over my time. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed being here and some of the conversation we had. I hope that was helpful to you. And thanks for being here. And thanks for Traders Corner having us back on once again.
Thank you so much, John. We love having you here on Traders Corner. And you know, John, you'd be amazed at how many of our members have joined Apex and then went on to trade funded accounts with your simple one-step evaluation process. It has absolutely turned their trading results and lives completely around.
That is so awesome.
It proves that there is an absolute psychological difference when it's your own money at risk versus someone else's. You know, it kind of releases all those bad trading habits that allows us to enjoy our trading.
Absolutely.
We've had so many requests to have you on our show. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time and giving our members a chance to sign up with that amazing discount. Ladies and gentlemen, this is John Skelton of Apex Trader Funding. John, always a pleasure.
Thank you guys. Have a great one.